Hello, welcome to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So, I've been asked to do a series of videos on all the law changes for elections in most of the swing states. So, this is the first one of that series. So, that means I'll have two different series going, one about choice and demographics and all that jazz. And then this one, which is going to focus specifically on the laws that have been manipulated since 2020, 2022. Okay, let's get started. First off, I'd like to give special thanks out to the Brennan Center. If you've never visited this website and this organization, so much information. I have friends that work there. They really do a great job, and they cite their work, and you can go back and look at the documents of which they were deriving their information from. And it's a great resource. And I'm basing this series on an article. Well, it's more of a ongoing article that they've written about law changes in the elections. So let's get started. First, Arizona tried to pass a law that was like you had to prove your citizenship at the poll, a birth certificate, I guess. I'm not exactly. It was quite a list. Anyway, so basically, that's against federal law. Like, we still do have some federal laws that do manage elections in this country, thank God. And that's one of them. So it's one thing to have a license or whatever, but to be able to have to prove citizenship, come on now. So that got thrown out for federal races. But what was interesting, the solution that they came up with was there's basically a federal state ballot, and then there's just a federal ballot. If you're going to vote in their federal state ballot, then you have to prove citizenship. Facts. So they also, here, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. They also did a bunch of wrongfully purged voters ahead of elections based on outdated information. So anyway, it was it's basically, it allows for the opportunity of abuse of purging. So I know, because I know a lot of you guys are very worried about purging. I live in Texas, and they just purged 1 million voters. So, but this is part of that same thing. So it's not if you're paranoid; it's if you're paranoid enough. They also have 3 interference-related laws that they're working on. First, it makes it harder to vote absentee, and that actually affects military. That affects lots of people, people who travel, that kind of thing. They, they, so they did try to pass a few things to interfere with voters, but I believe it even conflicted with Arizona Constitution, so they had to throw those out. They did do some expansive work for they're basically targeting the administrative side of the election. So we're looking at like election workers who make a clerical error, prison, right? That seems right. They did those. There was a 5th law that has allowed partisan interference in elections, but that was struck down. So there's 4 expansive laws trying to mess with the administration certification of the ballot, and they actually tried to get a 5th thing that was even worse through, and it got struck down. Basically, there is some good news though. I don't want to be all like, this is terrible and we're all doomed in Arizona. They eliminated the 2-year waiting period for individuals that have felonies. They added they added 2 hours to early voting on Fridays, and that's to help people who work for a living. That was good. They also expanded voting options for people who couldn't see, because apparently they haven't had that. Listen, that's been around. I don't know. It's like, I guess the population finally got big enough, but that seemed kind of ridiculous that they hadn't done that yet. And then there's easy voter registration. Fishing and gaming, as we've all learned, Democrats do those too. So also, I mean, who doesn't want to go fishing? I love fishing. But anyway, so you get your fishing license, you can register to vote. I think that is brilliant, personally. I love that's probably my favorite thing in the good news here, because any new uh, avenue where people are asked to check a box to register to vote, man, that's just huge. So my thoughts: Arizona is definitely doing some shenanigans. The expansive stuff, that's pretty worrying, but I think at the end of the day, because of how their courts are, that they will step in. Like if they're just stalling, because honestly, as we go through these videos, you'll notice there's a lot of stalling going on. It's how long can I keep the the thing from happening? Because the longer it takes them to secure the nomination and the election, uh the more questions can be asked by Fox News. Ooh, are they doing this? Or wait, why is it taking so long? Oh, it's because you changed all these laws over the last 4 years, but they'll never talk about that. So what they're trying to do is just stretch it out as long as possible so that there can be some question as to if that person actually won. Never mind, we will have already won the popular vote by millions of votes, right? If you watch the polling video from yesterday, everyone's asked me, hey, I'll tell you, this is the end of August, and Kamala's got a 3-point lead. So in Arizona, they're playing very well. In New Mexico, Missouri is being talked about. So I'm telling you, there's a whole lot of these crazy laws that got passed. But if everyone just gets out and votes, we're good. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. Check your voter status, and like literally every video in this series is going to be nothing but check your voter status. Like and subscribe. If you wish to support this channel, we have a PayPal account, CLSP Politics. I hope everyone has a good day.